Serafina and I were at a entrepreneurial book club where Stephanie never read the right book, and
Stephanie was terrible at this book club.
I really sucked at book club.
I did
Fabulous. What?
I just had a visual. I just had a
It was a
visual.
lot.
I had a visual.
Proud of it. Matt Pitt is going to join us on the show one more time. He promised that he would wear his Dun Kings windbreaker thing that he got, some outfit. And I'm like, I don't know if I want you on my show with that thing.
radio
on.
show. I'm not sure.
You know, the Dun Kings, like
yeah,
Ben Affleck, and
Yeah.
he was one of the 200 people that got one of those track suits.
Oh god.
I would wear a suit like that, but without the Duncan branding.
Right.
The governor of Massachusetts wore it yesterday.
No, he did not.
She did. Maura Haley.
She wore it?
Yeah, she wore it, and she was like, "We're the Duncan Queens."
I don't know. I saw a Duncan ad in New York with a Yankees jersey on it. I don't know what's going on.
I don't
God.
like any of that.
Oh man.
What's up, Dave Hagner? Good morning. Yeah, we're a little late this morning, and I've got to thank my guests in studio today. Introduce yourselves, you two.
Hey, ladies first.
Hi, I'm Erin Roach, and I am, I guess, the glue that puts the paperback comedy together.
I feel like you're the nanny of paperback comedy.
I have to when they're
Erin's the glue, and we're all just sniffing Erin.
No.
It's going to be a morning.
Oh yeah.
That's why we're late.
No, it's so my fault. I get backed up. It's Monday already. It was Patty's Day weekend. It should be, I think Tori called it National Hangover Monday, but I just had a weekend of activities. It was knockabout all weekend long. We had Irish Fest.
That makes sense. It's a party.
So, oh yeah, it was bagpipers and dancers and musicians and green beer
my
all weekend long.
Did you get to play the bagpipes?
I didn't, but I watched a lot of bagpipes. That guy went for an hour. Have you ever seen a bagpiper go for an hour and 15 minutes?
Man's got pipes.
This guy did not take a break. I was blown away, literally.
Slowly over time.
I'm
Just
like
like,
watching this guy.
Oh my god.
I'm being piped out the room. This is
That's it.
amazing.
Oh,
It was
God.
pretty
Did
epic.
he just play Amazing Grace for like an hour straight?
No, all of a sudden I was like, I felt like I was watching Outlander, and I was like, wait a minute, that's
Oh.
Scottish. I don't care. It's bagpipes. It's great. This guy is not stopping.
Oh
Oh my,
god.
good for him. You know what? I mean, he
That is
probably
so-
doesn't have a lot of opportunities. His neighbors probably don't want him to play. You know, so when he gets
Right?
an opportunity, he's like, I'm going to play until these people throw me out of the room.
Honestly, though, I
Right?
feel like we were definitely part of his practice. Good morning, Gloria. Hey, Liz. Thank you for joining me yesterday. You got to see the Piper's Pipe. It was just one
Oh.
piper, and he's a Mashpee firefighter.
Oh wow.
So I give this guy a whole boatload of credit, because if you're entering fires, you would think that your lung capacity would not be as good as this guy was, but he
No.
was fabulous.
Wow, maybe he
Oh,
could
wow.
actually use the oxygen tank next time.
He's like, he is
Just
the
that.
oxygen tank.
That's true. Just hook it up to an oxygen tank. Play with the
Dude
other
went.
things.
I was very impressed.
Never seen bagpipes. Only at, like, my cousin got married almost over last year, and they surprised the bride and groom with like bagpipes. There was a whole like crew of them,
Epic.
bagpipes in the middle of the wedding, like wedding reception. I was just like, and the bride and groom, like they had no idea, and they were like playing a whole entire set, and I was like, holy crap, what the heck is going on right
Epic.
now?
I will say I was trying to study the other day, and I went to a coffee shop and somebody was playing the bagpipes. Bagpipes not good for studying. Okay,
Oh hell no.
Where were you?
great for parades.
Where was
Okay,
that?
it was Treehouse Brewing. Okay.
Oh, okay. I was like, I need to know more of this.
yeah.
Who's
that-
studying over at Treehouse?
well, I guess it was more of an excuse. You know,
There's not much
Studying,
studying going on.
the bagpipe actually, I guess, helped me lean into what I really wanted to be doing next.
Yeah, he did.
Mm.
Liz, he did play. He loved those bagpipes. He really did. Pam, good morning, everyone. As JT says, happy Mon Friday. Yes, we had
Mhm.
JT on the show with us on Friday, and we got to do the grand opening of the new cannabis shop in Mashpee, Sublime.
Oh boy.
Absolutely beautiful in there. If you've not checked it out, the Catania
Oh, it's
family does a
nice.
really nice job, and Chippy did their branding, so it was just really pretty
Oh,
in
it's
there.
pretty in there.
Yeah.
I've been
you
in
could
there.
probably smoke that floor, I think.
You
Oh yeah, that floor is
From what it looks like.
amazing. Oh
It's
my
a pretty
God.
cool floor, I gotta say.
Oh,
I was
yeah. They did
impressed.
a good job.
There's some company that made it. I think they're a Cape-based company, if I remember.
And they're also making chocolates in there, handmade bonbons. So I'm
Mm.
I'm pumped to try their new chocolates.
I would
And
dig for that golden ticket. Not giving you the-
right?
Willy Wonka style.
100%. So I don't know where you are in the world, but happy Monday to everyone. I know a lot of the kids
Monday.
are going back to school at Four Seas. Their spring break is already over. I feel like that came and went real fast.
Oh man, I love Four Seas. It's a beautiful place.
Are you currently a student there?
No, I did go there for a couple of years. Yeah, to get my finish out my bachelor's. But yeah, beautiful
Excellent.
place, filled with knowledge and rust. I love it there.
That's awesome.
Only been there to see plays.
Oh, plays. Yes,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, the Tilden Arts Center. They
I
do a
actually-
fabulous
Yeah.
job.
I had two
They
people
did.
who met like making a play at Four Seas, and they're married now and have like 2 kids.
That's really
Wow,
cool.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
a lot of good things happening down there at Four Seas.
Oh, yeah.
Professor Z is working on making their podcasting studios video right now, and she's adding all that stuff.
Ooh.
It's really nice that they are really putting a lot of work into their radio and broadcasting program. And we've got a conference coming up in the Tilden Arts Center,
Ooh.
and that is
Ooh.
mid-April. I think it's the second or third week of April. I can't
I'm
keep
gonna
track
camp
because
out and wait.
Easter is like 2 weeks away.
Yeah, it is. At the end of March.
I
Easter's
don't
coming.
like Easter in the same month as St. Patty's
Oh.
Day. I feel like we're not getting a break here.
I feel like I
No.
have no idea when St. Patrick's Day is. I feel like people were saying Happy St. Patrick's Day to me for like
A
month.
week.
Yeah.
All of
And I
March.
just
all of
I kept
March.
being like, oh, it must be today. You know? Oh, well,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Well, the first half of March was all St. Patrick's Day. Hey, Lisa, they had a big celebration over the Cape Cod Children's Museum. And I love seeing those little people all dancing around their own little Irish jigs.
Oh my goodness.
Very cute.
Oh, with the river dance.
Yes.
River
I'd love to learn a
dance.
good river
Yeah.
dance.
Well, you not only nanny the boys and the comics of paperback comedy, but you're also a nanny in real life.
Yes.
And you got a newborn baby that's headed your way.
Oh yeah. Yep. She's a month now. So and her parents are about to go back to, her mom's back at work, but her dad took like 6 weeks off. So like he's
What is
still-
that like? Like, here's my newborn baby. Have fun with it. Like, oh
It'll be
my,
a new experience for me.
am I
'cause
qualified for this?
I've
Seems
worked
so
in an
interesting to
infant,
me.
like I worked in daycare before I was a nanny, and I was in an infant room with like 2-month, 3-month-old babies that, they all they do is sleep. Like they sleep and they eat. And
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. And then until they're, I don't know, they're probably like 4-5 months, they start trying to roll over and start crawling. And then there's mobile, and then you're like, okay, now we have to make sure the mobile kids don't knock over the other kids that aren't mobile.
Didn't you make one of those too? Aren't you a
Yeah,
new
yeah.
dad?
Yeah.
I'm listening, Erin. She's like, oh, they rolled for 5 months. I was like, nah, it's 3, Erin. It's
That's
3.
3. All babies are different. I can't remember.
It honestly helped me. Yeah, it's because she was like, oh, can you be here at whatever 7:30? I was like, yeah, actually. I
You're
can."
like, I'm up at all
I'm
hours.
Heads up, yeah,
I'm a
that
new
was-
Baby
dad.
doesn't sleep.
I'll just be staring at this little dude like, dude, go back to bed, please. You've only been sleeping. for
Talk
2
about that a little bit. How has
Yeah.
that been working for
Good.
you?
No, it's fun. It's tired. I keep telling everybody I'm just in like a delirium, but it's like, it's a functional delirium.
Hmm.
He's a beautiful boy, but yeah, it's every couple hours there's something, whether he pooped his pants or he pooped his outfit or, he's hungry.
Oh,
or
the up the
whatever it is.
backs.
Yeah,
Every
up-
parent knows
Oh.
it.
We had
the good times.
We were over with our little nieces yesterday, and they love to help out, and they come running into the room. They're like, everyone, he pooped. And they were so proud of it. He's proud of it. And they're like, oh, it's because they don't have to clean it up.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
oh,
Yeah, right.
yeah.
It's always so joyous when mom and dad have to deal with all of that.
It's
Oh, yeah, no.
impressive. Honestly, the output, and
Oh,
it's
Never
really-
thought I'd be talking about that this morning.
Oh my
What's
God,
up,
I'm sorry,
everybody?
yeah.
no, the
But that's
four-
the
yes.
that's the
That's my
space
life
that you're
now,
in
yeah.
right
Oh, yeah.
now.
The
100%.
4-year-old is like the
He's
same
so
way
cute.
with the baby. The 4-year-old that goes, like, hears her cry and she runs. What does she need? And then he goes and they change her diaper and she comes running and goes, the poop is yellow.
Oh, sorry. Good morning, everyone. How's your breakfast?
The viewership is dropping.
That's
Turn
right.
something.
Hey, Nate, what's going on? Nate was with me over at Knockabout yesterday where we had tons of little people just running around with all of their shamruckus that was happening. And it was
Parents
just
are watching
awesome.
them.
It's amazing about breweries, Knockabout specifically. You can bring your kids. You can
It's
stay all day.
awesome.
You can just stay all day, have a great time. Get fed. The kids are happy.
Yeah, it's a
Mm.
fun
Has a
little
couple
woodland
delicious
area.
things.
They can bop
Run
around and
hopefully don't get hurt.
but that's it. Yeah. I mean, honestly, they need to be outside. And over this weekend, we got everybody outside and it was like, it's almost here. It's false, everybody. This is the false spring that we're all
I
going to get
know.
Just the taste, and then we're gonna get another month of just
taken away from us. sinking back into the snow that apparently we're going to get next weekend.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
Just anticipate
Stop.
Over
the snow,
it.
hail, or snail. We're gonna get a little snail.
I like that. So Chris is one of our comedians in paperback comedy. I'm saying ours like I'm part of the troupe now,
you
but
are.
Yes.
I just
We're nothing without you at this
I
point. This is,
know,
we're holding on
right?
by
I've
a
assimilated myself into this group. And AJ has definitely told us some fun stories about you. I feel like the missing stage one was
Forgetting
also a
everything,
fun one.
yes.
Oh god.
Yeah, I end up putting, I have a
Who gives the new dad jobs to do?
Well,
They're
it's
not.
all right.
They're
It's
not very
the-
smart about that.
No.
don't. I don't want to lose my spot. Don't give away my job.
I feel like you
No.
should not ask a new parent to do anything more than just be alive for like the first 2 years of being a new parent.
I think you have to have
Period.
been there, to be honest, to understand it. Because I don't fault anybody. I was definitely there before. I'd be like, oh, what? The kid, you just when it sleeps, doesn't it? You don't really until you're in the trenches. You don't really.
Seriously though,
Can't,
you should not have any tasks that require any thought
It's okay.
other
Yeah.
than showing up, and this is the time you show up.
It's good. I like a good redemption story. I'm just setting myself up to succeed down the line. Okay?
I love it. So you got a bunch of shows coming up also.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We got a great show at the end of the week on Friday with Big D. Oh my gosh, I've been trying to book him for a while. He's like amazing. I mean, we have such amazing comedians. It's so cliche and overused to say he's amazing, but like each one of them is so unique, and he especially is like you see him and you're like, oh man, I'll see you on Netflix kind of thing. Like,
Oh,
Oh yeah.
he's one of those.
that incredible.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just a sure thing. You don't have to worry about it. You're just excited, and it makes it so much easier for all the other comics on the bill to have somebody like him on, because it's just like, you just go.
We're
up and
gonna
have
get some
fun.
laughs, guys,
Yeah,
and I'm part
exactly.
of this. I'm part of this panel today.
The crowd is in good hands, with
Oh,
the
yeah.
headliner, as long as they hold on.
Yeah.
Do some of this early stuff. It's gonna be fun, and they're gonna want to come back. For
But I
next
like
shows.
that all of your shows also include people that are really just trying some new material, people that only really have a minute or two.
Got
Like
it.
I've got a minute or two and I
Yeah.
really want to try it.
You
And
got
it's awesome to see.
And because sometimes
yeah.
people in the crowd like different things, and maybe 90% of the people won't laugh, but maybe one person will laugh at something that somebody said, and maybe they wouldn't vibe so much with the headliner. But so yeah, it's good, and you got to promote the local scene, because we're starting to culminate something down here. with
Yeah.
people like the Knockabout open mic, which is tomorrow on Tuesday. We're starting to get more and more local people. We're starting to get like comics coming out from Worcester and Boston, and we're like, whoa, look at us, Cape Cod in the off season with a full Knockabout open mic. And most open mics, people are not paying attention. There's a TV on, comics, and this is like a real audience. And
Yeah.
and we have some music acts that are starting to come out. And yeah, it's
Well, I
really
feel
cool.
like if you're gonna do an open mic, it definitely needs to be a place of like safety and comfort. And I feel like there's
Mhm.
something about that tap room specifically that is like, well, it's very warm to begin with.
We call it a
definitely.
magic room. Every time we have shows in there, it's crazy. I don't know what it is. It's like, it's honestly perfect. It's like the low ceilings, the wood, the atmosphere, the beverages, the staff, the people who are coming to the show. It's like you have to have, and the comics on stage, you have to have everything working together. And,
Yeah.
and it's just like, especially the shows, but even the mics, it's crazy. Like,
Yeah, it
the
is
energy
just a
that comes in.
comfortable room, and
Oh,
just
yeah.
being there and showing up and repetitious. It's one of those things that people need when they're doing something like an open mic, because it's scary.
Oh,
You're not,
yeah.
it doesn't matter even if there are 3 people there, it's 3 strangers you don't know that are going to judge you, because
Scary
that's
to do it even
really,
yourself.
Oh,
They say
yeah.
do it in
Right?
the mirror, even that feels
Oh,
weird.
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like a
you're
weird-
judging yourself the worst.
Unless you're an
Yeah.
amazing comedian by default, it's awkward no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Oh my god. Yeah.
That's why, Erin's always babysitting.
You're right.
Erin's heard all the bad jokes.
So you've got that open mic that is at Knock, and then you've got something coming up at Aquatic.
Yeah, Aquatic
Yes.
Brewing in Falmouth. That's on Friday. That's with Big D. Lloyd Legacy Sharp will be there. JB.
I have not had a chance to get into that brewery for whatever reason. The time is always, I love their beer.
Yeah.
It's tucked away. It's
Yeah,
it's
I
it's-
have their beer every time I'm at Tiger Ramen,
Mhm. Oh, it's
which is
so
like
good.
right in the
Oh,
parking lot. And if you've
Oh, yeah,
not
it's right
been,
next door.
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, their
And
beer
it's
is amazing.
definitely hipster ramen, but I really don't mind spending $30 for a bowl of soup. It's my favorite.
Oh, I
It's
haven't been there.
delicious.
Oh man,
But
I'll
But
check
they've
it
heard
out.
got-
it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, they've got some of the aquatic beers. And I know my friend Wes has got the food truck that is in front of Aquatic every once in a
Like
while.
Peaceful?
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
And so there's just a bunch of fun stuff happening at brewery. If you're looking for something to do, I really suggest that you look at some of our breweries. We've got tons of great ones here on
Oh,
the Cape, and they're all unique.
And they all expand. It starts as a brewery, but then they get like coffee and seltzers, and,
Mm.
5,000 distilled drinks, and
Right?
it's like that. It becomes in a supermarket.
Oh,
Well, listen, that's what we're working on for Knockabout in the beer garden is actually we're bringing food. We're going to have a Mashpee Farmers Market, and I don't really quite know what it's going to look like this year, but I know it's going to grow. And I'm just resigned myself to accept where we are this year.
Once people find out about that space back there, the secret's up. We're gonna be
Right.
like, oh man, I missed when this was quiet.
Yeah.
It's gonna be-
Well, yeah, because
Nobody
you've worked
here.
at that. You've worked
yeah.
there where you're like, it's
Mhm.
Eddie.
I
Hello?
sit there in isolation, just like in my coat.
To be fair, last summer was brutal. If you are a Cape Cod
It was
regular, what's up, Joe?
rain.
Thanks for joining us. It was not our best summer ever.
No, people. I don't
I
know.
can
what was
see
going
him.
It
AJ.
rained. It rained a lot. Oh yeah, he's watching you.
I know he is. Crap. Be
He's
on her
watching
best
you.
behavior, Chris.
No, definitely be on your worst behavior. Talk all kinds of smack about
Who
AJ
is-
right
oh, it's
now.
AJ? Oh
Yes.
my
Well,
God.
I
Go back to
missed-
bed, AJ.
I missed
Go
his
back to
birthday
bed.
show. I really wanted to go and see his birthday show. I knew that there was going to be a special guest, and I knew I wanted to show up for AJ. But honestly, I was off Cape all day. I was in Framingham, and by the time I got home, I was like, I'm gonna lay here right now. My daughter goes, "You went to bed at 7 p.m., Mom." I fell asleep before the comedy show.
Oh, God.
I sent my husband to do a gig because I was just burnt out. I'm like,
I
I'm just gonna take a
imagine.
little nap and I'm gonna go to AJ's show. Woke up at 3:00 in the morning and I'm like, oh, what?
Oh well, it was a beautiful show. You can always throw him another one.
There's always another birthday,
always another
AJ.
birthday.
Surprise one. Just like,
What's
be
up,
like,
Mark?
"Bam."
Hey, lady yourself. I hope you're doing all right. I've got Erin and I've got Chris on the show today, and we're just talking about some comedy stuff. Erin, why do you choose to deal with these boys?
I don't know.
Are there any
I-
women that you work with over there?
Well, there are women comics because AJ
Very few and
tries-
far between, AJ.
AJ does put a lot of he has a diverse like lineup.
He
So
does a good
tries
job.
to get women on. Like,
Yeah.
he does women and he tries to make it as diverse as he can, which is nice. And so either I get to talk to the women comics or I talk to the girlfriends of the male comics.
or
and
babysit.
And when I first I've known AJ for almost 6 years now, and I was helping him out, just being nice to go to a comedy show and do something on Cape because it's I really didn't have a lot of friends on Cape, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go out and I have crowd anxiety to the max, and just
I
going
would
out-
never have known that.
and because I worked through it for almost the last 6 years where I
Yeah.
was conquering my fear of because I before I even met AJ, I couldn't even go out to a bar or any place by myself without fully having a panic attack and going
Really?
into the corner because I wouldn't know anybody. And I'm
AJ, you're awesome.
so meeting him, and it's we met through a mutual friend, one of our friends, and meeting him was he was so different than I thought he would be because my friend that we met through is a full
AJ
on
is different.
nerd.
So
he's a-
different than I thought he would be. That's what I thought
well,
he would
yeah,
be.
because my friend
one
that
thing
he
about
met,
AJ.
he's a nerdy, scrawny looking guy. He's into Marvel, DC, and and then you see AJ, you're you don't picture especially with AJ 6 years ago, he didn't have blonde hair like he does now. He had short hair, spiked up.
Yeah.
He looked kind of like a frat boy when I met him.
And definitely not a frat boy.
No,
he's also
not.
a people
No, he's
collector.
not at all.
So, I mean, well, he's this, assembled this group of people that are really fine, funny comics and
Find funny comics. I like that.
right?
That's our new
Find funny
motto.
comics.
Yeah.
I got
Find
it.
funny comedians.
Oh, yeah,
Very nice.
But so here you are with crippling anxiety, and he's like, "Work the door, Erin."
I know. Well, that happened I think working the door happened I think 2 years ago. I was helping just unpaid, breaking down the set because before Chris came along, he had another business partner that was not helpful at all.
Okay.
And
We don't speak ill of the dead. They're gone now.
He is dead to us, but yes. He barely helped, and I was the one that was breaking down all the equipment and everything like that. And then he would come over and be like, "You guys need help?"
Oh,
I'm
I love those people.
And I'm like, "I'm gonna punch you in the face. Get the fuck out of here."
Oh, we already did the job. You're gonna help now. Thanks.
I know. It's oh, you want to help take all this to the car? We just broke down all the speakers and all that stuff, and because when I first met him, he didn't have the stage. He had just speakers and.
How long have you been on this ride, Chris?
A couple years, yeah.
Yeah.
Years, yeah. It's been like since like what,
Definitely, yeah,
20,
I'd like to
20,
say, yeah.
2021? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I remember just being, people wouldn't help out. And I just remember moving back, and because was in Denver for a couple of years,
Yeah.
doing comedy out there, and was trying to get reestablished out here. And just like, people weren't doing anything, and it was always just AJ, taking things down. I was like, oh, I can learn this. I can figure this out. I could just offer to help. People need more hands. And just one by one, you just learn different things, and then it starts to get sticky. And then other people see, a culture of like, helping out, and other people want to get involved. And it's like, how do I get booked on your shows? Well, show up to the shows, see if you can help out, break things down. And because as we get larger, better, stronger together.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah. So a couple of good
cover more ground too.
Yeah,
How long have you been doing comedy?
About 4 years now, seriously. Yeah, I started in Denver. Yeah, just really going to open mics out there. The culture was so different. It was so difficult to get on stage. There would be 3 mics a night in the city, and they would all be 15 minutes, and they'd be all amazing, but there'd be 40, 50 people on each list.
Really?
So you'd go, and there's a culture out there of people who just like basically all night, from 4 p.m. to 4 a.m. because some of these mics start at 1 a.m. So yeah, just like going out and trying to hit a couple mics every night, bombing, having no material, having no idea how to write, having no audience because I'd always go on at the end. But you learn the hard way, and I'm no pro or anything now, but I can at least work my way through some. And I have such an appreciation for the quality audiences that we have around here.
Oh,
because if people are listening to you, whether you do well or not, you should appreciate them for listening. Because about 4 years.
What would you say your style of comedy is?
Something that I could tell and my mom could hear.
Okay. That's fair though, because I feel like I don't like cringy. I don't know, something about it for me. And I don't know whether that's because I was broadcast radio for 20 years, but when I hear swears, I'm like, even though I know full well it's going to be all anything goes when you go to a comedy show. So like,
and you have to be adaptable. The crowd is the boss, just because I'm a certain way and I'm in a certain room and they want like kind of a more vulgar, dirty, you got to be ready to do that because at the end of the day you have to make people laugh. But it's always a fun challenge when I see my mom in the audience and I'm like, oh boy, no bad words.
Yeah, that was recent too.
No phallic material. No, just talk about the bridge. Just talk about the bridge.
So awkward.
Yeah,
read the crowd.
Yeah, I had a situation like that with my 17-year-old daughter who's about to graduate. She had 38 days left, Mom. And we were talking about the Academy Awards and Poor Things. And I was like, that was such a weird movie. And then she's like, I know, right? I'm like, ew. I had a gross moment of like, you watched that? Oh, wait a minute. You're almost an adult, but also, ew.
I saw that movie. That movie was...
It was a lot. It was
That
very,
was a
very
lot
X-rated. It is
movie.
not a family movie.
It's not a movie you see with your
It
parents.
is not something.
No. Oh
Well,
my God, no.
A friend of mine asked, "Did you watch it together?" I was like, "No, separate." But even that was weird.
That subconscious moment where you lock eyes and you're like, "So you saw that too?"
Oh God, no.
There's so many movies I will never watch with my parents.
Super
and
awkward.
like, there's somewhere like my mom's like, "You want to watch this movie?" I'm like, "No, Mom." I'm like, "I know what's in this movie, and I'm not watching.
Definitely
next to you.
not with you.
No,
I know. So I had a full day of knockabout all day yesterday. Then we ended up at Shipwrecked to support Shipwrecked, their team for Heroes in Transition.
That's a tough thing to say after a few beers.
Oh my God, right? Exactly. And I've just got a couple of coffees on board. I'm not ready for this one. I know. So I ended up winning the 50-50 raffle.
Oh,
I know. Well, it was $180 was my half, but I donated it back. But I said the only way I'm donating it back is if somebody else matches it. Wow. So I managed to get another $180, and somebody else paid it twice.
You are a world shaker.
I feel like, and I also worked the Falmouth Educational Foundation gala on Saturday night.
I'm just going to vote for you for mayor.
Which I was begging for money because this is what you do at these events.
Yeah. Please.
What do you do? Do you ring a tin cup or?
This was great. So I told my husband, I said, play really sad violin music. And so I'm over there, I'm talking, and I'm like, cue the children. And the children come out with buckets.
Oh my God.
And he plays this sad violin music. And I'm like, everybody, the children need your help.
Wow, you're brilliant. That's amazing.
Listen, we're getting it done for this community. This is what we do.
By, what is it?
You get like a sad little kid that the sister goes, please, Mom.
Right.
Please.
I basically recreated a Sarah McLachlan commercial for animals.
I think you need to start your
children.
That makes me cry. I have to change the channel every time I see that commercial.
It's awful.
Oh, And or like the ASAP, like the one like they like donate now for these animals, and they're like
Oh, the
brittle.
MSPCA. I know. It's
Yeah.
awful.
Oh,
No, I can't watch it.
And they play it at like in the middle of like a football game or like
Right?
and I'm like, can we not?
Why are
That's
they
just
bringing us down?
stop.
Just
your
text
money.
us, right?
It's like, I
I'll
don't
donate.
want
Get it off my screen.
Please. I'm like,
Seriously.
you don't
Somebody's
know if
gonna
that
get
money is
hired.
actually going to those animals or if it's just going in someone's pocket.
What do you do when you're at a show and you're collecting everything, you're trying to get organized, and the comic is just bombing on stage? Do you look at the audience? Do you look at the comic? Do you get AJ? Like, what do you do in that respect other than just sit there and sit with everybody else in
Let
it?
them bomb.
I think you just triaged it right there. You look around. If people get really uncomfortable and start to leave, then
And you
Ah.
light them, like telephone and light
What
them.
does
get
that
them
feel
off.
like?
oh, it's when you're bombing.
Yeah.
Oh well, what do you? It's like it's the most lonely feeling in the world. It's like you have the best idea, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh
Mhm.
man, and then you go and you tell it to a room full of people, and they all collectively are like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my
Yeah,
life.
yeah, exactly.
I don't know what you're saying. I don't know who told you you're funny. That's at least the feeling you get, and then that's one joke, right? And so you have to stay up there sometimes for 5-10 minutes.
That's what I'm saying. You just have to sit in the most awkward space where you're like, I can't.
You bomb in some, well, not some, as you're coming up, I would say, you kind of, in some instances, bomb every set. Sometimes a joke misses, right?
Right.
Mhm.
You're hitting, and then you try a new joke or something and the crowd doesn't vibe with it, right? In a sense, that's a bomb where it's like, if somebody doesn't laugh and the goal is to make them laugh, it confuses people or whatever.
Right. Or like the uncomfortable chuckle.
It's like,
I've learned it's just
Oh,
joke to joke.
no.
Just keep going with jokes and kind of as long as you can, or until they're really not on your side.
Okay, so you're a
Mm.
joke pepper rather than developing this story.
Well, it's both. The story is just supposed to be like a long explanation. With
Yeah.
lots of little side
Jabs in
jokes.
there.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Because I have no idea what it like conceptually what it is to write 2 minutes, 5 minutes, a 10-minute set, and how that.
Jokes, yeah, they're short. Like what's the shortest joke ever? Take my wife, please. Right? Like jokes are, and they're strung together. But yeah, you build a story, and you kind of, again, I'm no expert or anything, but you just
No, but for
go
you, I mean, you're out there doing it.
Yeah,
You've
yeah,
been in the scene. You've put yourself up on a stage, and
yeah, it's all just misdirection.
hey, I'm here to be
Mhm.
ridiculed. Everyone, let's do this.
Exactly.
Like, let's go.
Josh is on. Everybody, say hi, Josh.
Hi,
Hi,
Josh. That's on brand for me.
Erin came right out of the gates this morning. I don't know how you sit next to him without getting a contact high. Right
I'm
on
not high
in.
right now. So
Absolutely.
Honestly, a good guy, just walking around, free stones.
I know.
He's sharing. He's a giver.
Sharing
Everyone.
is caring.
That's it.
That's fun.
It's
Yeah,
epic.
comedy, man. It's fun. It's all just misdirection. It's just like
Mm.
it's like magic. People look at a magic trick and they're like, oh, how did you do that? Even though they know it's a trick, it's still
Yeah.
kind of tricks the mind, slips the mind.
Do you incorporate pop culture, like something going on in the world? Not necessarily politics, but just like Gypsy Rose deleting her 7.8 million followers. Like, why would you do that?
I feel like you have to just have a
Right.
library of everything.
Yeah.
You have the answer. You say yes to it, and then you kind of look at the audience. You're like, and if you have the luxury of going up after other comedians, you can kind of listen and see what they're into, and you can kind of retool your set list.
Yeah.
So like you have, everything. I try to do everything. I try to do like at least write them. I may never tell them, but I always try to write political. I always try to write pop culture, current events.
Just so you
life
never know
stuff.
where it might
Yeah.
fit the situation.
Yeah, and it just makes you better at writing because you eventually start to
Yeah.
develop like an understanding where you're riffing and you're like, okay, I know where I'm trying to get. I know what I'm trying to sound, what I have to sound like, so
Yeah.
people will laugh at whatever I'm trying to say.
Are you
Mhm.
comfortable with crowd work?
No,
I get that.
That's honest.
I don't like to
That's
make
fair.
fun
people do that.
I don't like to make fun of people, so I let and then good crowd work isn't like Jim McHugh does it really well, where he makes
Mm.
people feel really good. He like builds people up somehow. It's like over complimenting almost, or like making fun of their work, like making fun of the pain that they're feeling, not them, but the like way they're feeling.
Right. It's an
Mhm.
art form. It
It is.
really is.
And some people do want it, and some people don't. Some people are like, I paid you, you're the professional, don't ask me questions, you make
Right.
me laugh. And some people are like, ooh, pick me.
Yeah, right.
I wanna
You know.
I want you to
talk.
razz
I want to
me.
be part of the show. It's like that's like every heckler. Like, I'm helping the show. You're not helping the show. You're making the show worse. And that's how
Yeah.
you get kicked out.
They get confused.
Mm.
What was the worst heckler you've ever had?
like me personally?
At any of your shows, has there been like someone that you like really had to escort out? Like, please
I know
bye.
Drew Dunn. I know a Drew Dunn show. Somebody had the cops called. And
Oh my god!
Shut
I
up,
saw that
that's real?
video. Yeah,
because somebody
it was
didn't like a
in-
joke.
Where was that? In like,
It was in Massachusetts.
It was in Massachusetts. Yeah.
It was it's somebody. Yeah, there's a lot of times people won't like a joke,
And I think Drew
they
Dunn
will
is
hold on to
just
it.
fabulous.
Oh,
He's up there.
It wasn't even a joke he did. He said it was a joke that the opener did.
Yes,
And
it wasn't even
this
a joke he
woman
did.
just kept like literally could not let it go. Even Drew Dunn was the headliner that night, and she was so pissed by the joke the opener did that she just wouldn't let it go.
That's weird.
Yeah.
We did have one at the a comic show recently, a big headliner, very like a pro. I've never seen this person get shaken at all. But there was a table of women or people, whatever, that were just talking like right next to the stage the whole night and like
Just rude.
being excited, like trying to be involved, but, like, trying, I don't know. And
What
at one
shows?
point, it's
Derailed.
Yeah, just derailed, and the comic like scolded them, and they immediately like got up and left.
Oh. Well, that's one way to deal with
Yeah,
it.
right. So it's
I'm gonna make you so
What
unhappy
show was
you're
that
gonna
one?
leave.
Christine in Situate.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the Christine Hurley show in Situate.
Oh
if we're
yeah.
getting
Or
specific.
like the one that
I feel like that
the
show's
wall-
kept on giving.
Oh my god, that
Oh.
was amazing. We had
Oh,
two
you missed-
shows
You
back
missed
to
the
back.
Situate show on Friday
Yeah,
where AJ was on stage and he was about to bring on Liam and it got really quiet and one of the people that were like close to the stage just go, I didn't like him. As AJ's still on stage.
So
and
awkward.
He ripped into this woman
Good. I love
for a good 10 minutes to the point where
Yes.
I was like laughing, crying. 'Cause
Oh,
he
that's
was,
awesome.
I'm like, he's like, I'm so sorry that my comedy show is around you. And he's like, well, and I'm like, I'm laughing, dying laughing. And I'm just like, this woman, like, what I found out is like my boyfriend was with me and he said that table was talking throughout the whole entire show.
It's so rude.
And I'm
It's like
"You
going to the
paid for
theater,
that. Like, you
right?
paid-
Yes,
this
it
is a paid show.
I
It's
know.
like, come on.
And it is rude. What's up, Jameson? Thanks for joining us this morning. I've got Eric and Chris Houghton. I'm Erin. Now you're Eric. Houghton on the show with us today.
Jamie.
Paperback comedy. And we're just talking about certain shows or just, I don't know. I give you so much credit for being able to get up there because I don't think my skin is thick enough for that
It makes your skin
in
thick.
public
It makes it
awkwardness.
thick,
I
yeah.
always was very thin-skinned. I remember like a professor of my work study was like, you need to like have thicker skin or something.
Oh my God.
I was just always so sensitive. Some of you,
I'm a millennial. I don't.
I still am very sensitive, but you can. It does develop a sense of you develop kind of an armor for judgment, I guess.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
you still feel it and you still acknowledge it, I guess, but it's different. You just kind of become like, eh.
How do you make ends meet and still do your artistry and find time to write and find time to be a parent and pay your bills?
Don't sleep
I'm just like, how does that happen?
and neglect in all areas in small increments. No.
Yeah,
Oh my
right.
God.
Yeah, no, it's you just do your best, right? You just do the stuff you want to do all the time, and it's so fun, and it's just like I said, we're building and growing, so it makes it. I don't know. It becomes bubbles up to the top of your mind more easily. Versus,
Yeah.
Like when you're in Denver and you're gonna go sit in a 40-person list and bomb for 2 minutes. It's a different motivation.
That's like kind of the definition of insanity for me. And I just wonder how that you just pick up the pieces and do it again. We are streaming, by the way, from Cape Cod. Lemonadio.com is where you can listen to us. You're watching us on whatever play. Yeah, right. Well, Cape Cod in the winter, everybody. Do not recommend.
Oh no.
Everything closes at 8 p.m. and you're not eating past 9. Sorry.
Except the 2 events we're talking about.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes. There'll be food there.
That's it.
It'll be open. Yeah, so we're here at lemonadio.com. You can get the app. You can watch us on Roku TV, Alexa, playing Lemonadio radio. Now my Alexa's probably going to go off upstairs.
Oh, no.
I'm so loud that my voice carries, and all of a sudden I'll walk through the house and random things will be playing because I was talking in other rooms. I'm so loud.
That's a power.
It's obnoxious where I was like just basically a bullhorn for an event that I was at with the chamber. I'm a board member of the Chamber of Commerce here in Mashpee. And they're like, Stephanie, can you get everybody's attention? And then another one was like, there is no way you did that without a microphone. It's a talent, everybody.
It's beautiful.
Gotta
No,
get
she
'em.
can use it, not use a microphone.
Yeah, I
It's
didn't have a
great.
coach whistle, so I just have this big bellowing voice of
We
mine.
could have used you the other night. Yeah, we had a sound issue at a show and the speakers weren't working. I screamed my set.
Everyone, yeah.
I was like, oh, this is a good exercise.
You know, in the scope of things, when things go wrong, it's just so annoying. And I just had one of those weeks last week where everything was wrong. And I did a 5-minute live to begin Knockabout yesterday with Moody, and
Oh,
we
yeah.
had no microphones. And I was just like, you know what? Normally I'd freak out about this, but I'm not. We're just going to stop it. We're going to restart it. We're going to go again.
They don't talk to you. You don't know what it is. You just kind of sit there and stare at the wires and the red lights, and you're like,
What is this?
who wants to stop doing what they're doing?
I know. And Nate, thank you very much for your patience. He said, I'm not funny, more clever or dry humored like. Yeah. And make sure to join our March Madness tournament brackets. Must be in by 12 p.m. on Thursday. We got to post on Facebook. lemonadio.com is where we are. So if you want to jump into that, 30 days of Jersey Mike
You're into
subs for the
basketball,
winner.
man.
Whoa.
Right?
Is that good? Does that like Subway will help me lose weight?
Definitely not. It'll be delicious though.
Jersey Mike.
It's 30 free
Oh,
subs.
Jersey
You can go and give
Mikes.
them to your friends, and I'll have a
Mm.
sub party. I don't know what you want to do with it.
I don't know if Jersey Mike narrows it down. I still feel there's like there's a lot of Mikes in Jersey.
Well, that I think is why it was such a brand.
Oh,
I
They've
guess
got
he
their-
became Jersey Mike. That's why he took over the Mikes in Jersey.
Right. It started on the Jersey. It started at the Jersey
these
Shore, and it
Michaels.
spread.
There were all these Michaels, and then
All
there was
these-
only one,
And he won.
and he was Jersey
You got
Mike.
the jersey. They've got their
Oh.
month of giving at Jersey Mike's right now. So they are raising money for Doug Flutie
Oh.
Jr.'s Autism
That's
Foundation.
not, that's not nice, AJ.
Oh, it will be the Jared of Jersey Mike's.
You're the Jared.
The Jared. My name's Jeff.
And I'm Jeff. Jared, like Jared from
Yeah,
Subway.
Jared. Mike is-
Is
Oh
he
my
still
God.
in jail?
I don't know, but Josh is saying I like to think I make Chris and Erin's skin thicker. So
yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
he does.
Josh is a skin sandpaper.
he's a
Mm.
special dude.
Yes, he's very well. I heard, as I say this lovingly, I heard it funny. They were like, somebody saw Josh left or whatever, and I forget who it was, but they were like, he's very ornery.
That's actually a really good way
Isn't
to
it perfect?
describe
Yeah,
Josh Adams,
Ornery.
Mhm.
I don't fully know what ornery means.
who we have frequently on the show, and it's really just a nice, accurate
He's a
description.
wonderful boy. He's a wonderful man.
Oh
I
yeah.
wanna spend time with him.
Josh,
He drives a BMW. It's great.
I find him to be pleasant.
Yes.
pleasant when he has a weed in him.
Oh, is that what it is? He
Yeah,
needs
it
a
is.
weed in him.
Yes.
He's one of the tightest, like punch joke writers. Like,
Yeah.
he also likes to punch, like he likes judo or
Mhm.
whatever it is. He's gonna get mad at me for
Oh,
mislabeling
okay.
it, but
Is it
his
Bruce
jokes are
Lee?
very. He can set something up and
Bruce
then
Lee?
punch it 5 different ways and get a pop in each one, and that's like an impressive.
And he's a bowler. I don't know
And
if I could
Taylor
handle
Ray.
all of this.
He is a big boy. I know.
I thought it was kung fu because I feel like we had a
think that is,
sword
yeah. He'll tell
discussion
you, I'm sure.
before.
Oh, yeah. Like, he's
I'm a
into,
ray of
like, the
sunshine is all
Bruce
Josh
Lee
had to
type of
say.
I'm gonna
thing.
just way mislabel it. He loves arm wrestling. He's just really big into arm wrestling.
And he says he
Uh,
always has a weed in him, so
Yeah,
he's
so,
good.
yeah, it's
He's
okay.
good to go.
Yes, either that or a cigarette.
Oh. Erin's just airing out your dirty laundry, shaking it out here, she's putting it on the
He's
line.
the only one who does laundry in all
Just-
of paperback comedy.
Thank God.
I have
We
to.
all are dirty clothed folk.
How are you dealing with that? You're a parent now. You can't be a dirty clothed folk.
Well, the baby's laundry is always clean.
Of course.
That's it.
Yours
That's
is
it.
just full
Yeah,
of
mine's
spit up. And
We as
whatever.
parents are definitely the last ones to take care of ourselves,
That's
period.
it. Yeah, you just the last line exactly. But he's asleep peacefully, and you're just kind of breathing.
How much can I get?
Are
done
you
before wake up?
incorporating a little of that into your joke
Oh,
writing?
yeah, that's a
Yeah.
lot of it has actually been really helpful.
Well, I
Um,
think that's why AJ does a good job of making sure that the comics are diverse because
Yeah.
comedy is about your life and writing stuff that it's not just jokes for other people, it's jokes for you.
Yeah, as long as
So-
you're trying, showing up, you're changing your material. You can get booked. Pretty regularly.
Yeah, well, talk
Mm.
about some of your shows and where people can grab some tickets
This-
too.
Go on Eventbrite, check out Aquatic comedy show this weekend. It's the 11th show we're having there on Friday with Big D. We got Lloyd Legacy Sharp and JB who are also going to be on there along with some local folk.
I know none of these people, which I'm
man.
psyched that I don't because I feel like you guys are always bringing newbies to the table and it's nice to see just different acts.
There's so many good
Oh, yeah.
comedians here, and again, we especially with AJ, developed a network of comedians around the country. So it's a nice mix of like we have a lot of good local people. Sometimes we'll bring people back once in a while, and then we have like people from out of town. Like we have a buddy of mine in Denver will be coming in July, and then we had somebody from LA who was just out here. Like so, you have these people always cycling in. So it's always we try to make it so that if you go, like we have a guy who comes to every show. His name's Joe. And it's because it's like it's different every time. It's always fun. The beer is good. It's a great atmosphere. It's like what else would you want to do on Cape, on a Friday, and we almost always sell out except for in like February.
Well, I mean, it's just a tough month anyway. I feel like nobody wants to go out, and we're
month.
Yeah.
And
Always
then
cold.
And then the open mic at Knockabout this Tuesday, which is free. Everybody could go to that one. But again, we had a lot of great comedians showing up from Boston, and we had Brianna Woodward show up all the time, who just won a couple of Boston Comedy Awards this year.
It's not weird for people to go and just watch, right? I mean, I feel like
we hope for that. That actually ups the ante, because if you have just crowd members, then it kind of goes from like, oh, I'm just gonna wing it and try all this new stuff to like, well, maybe I should do some of my good stuff, and maybe because you want to impress people who are audience members. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So
I know, because I've had this like 5 minutes I've been working on myself, and I was like, I just want to throw it out there, but I'm definitely that is not ready.
Oh my God,
that is not ready for human consumption.
It's never ready.
Just because I think it's amusing, just because it's it's your baby, it's your joke. You know what I mean? It's something that really happened to you, and you found that comedy to be funny. Is it going to be funny for other people? I don't know.
That is the desensitizing part. Is de-romanticizing your material. You start from this place of like, oh my God, I love this thing, and then other people don't like it, and you get defensive, like, but it's mine. It's funny, and you people don't get it,
right? Because you have to let that go, because like it's not only you think that's funny,
or it's just that night in that crowd and the way you told it. So there is a certain level of flexibility, but overall, you have to just the
but I love criticism when it comes to productive criticism. If someone's like, maybe this or tweak this, or if you had said, I'm like, oh yeah, that you're right, because I'm collaborative by nature with all things.
Oh yeah,
not everybody is like that. I do understand people don't like to be criticized, but it's really not if you're trying to grow something.
Exactly. You got to be open. You don't have to take. You don't have to take the criticism.
Right. That's true.
I know.
That's
you
true.
don't have to.
But just listen.
Thank you for your opinion.
At the end of the day,
listen
people
to it and then just toss it out the window.
People are coming from a good place most of the time. What is it?
Yeah.
We had enough. My refrigerator as a child. I always assume positive intent. Right?
There you go. Right. That's
yeah.
It's hard this day and age. I feel like everybody's kind of got this like big chip on their shoulder and kind of miserable in their lives. So when you get a moment to depart and watch other people's misery a little bit on stage, I feel like it's a share.
Exactly. And then the comics are happy that you delight in their misery, and it's a perfect cycle.
Yay, everyone's winning.
Yay, we're all sad and happy together.
It is. We all need to be uplifted just a little bit. I feel like, especially here on the Cape in the winter, we're looking for ways to just get a laugh, do something different. And I think paperback comedy definitely offers that for everyone.
Oh, definitely. There's nothing really on the Cape during the
right.
Like, there's nothing to do. And you're like, all right, well, we can't go to the beach because it's frozen.
Yeah, right.
It's like you'll just turn into an icicle.
Everybody just goes anyways and just sits in their car sad.
They do. Honestly, have you ever been to the beach in the winter around here? Somebody's eating a sub. This lady's doing a crossword, and we're all just staring at the ocean, hoping to feel better.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, do I swim in it or just drown myself?
It's really weird.
To go out there.
But I'm telling you,
waves.
if you're looking to have a lunch break that you just want to watch other people's misery, definitely head to some water.
That is true. And then throw some French fries on their car and watch the seagulls attack them.
Oh my God.
Ruin their paint job.
Always good for some sad seabirds.
I've seen like people throwing French fries or something out of the car, and you just see a swarm of seagulls, and I'm like,
right?
Was that necessary? Like, are you just trying to look for entertainment?
Jameson says, I can honestly say that pausing for laughter is the best possible feeling for anyone who performs on stage can get.
Yes, that's true.
He
right?
does improv, so yeah.
Oh yeah. If you're like stopping down to just like bask in it a little bit, honestly, let it. That's amazing.
It's a fine line, because sometimes you wait too long, then it's like
you lost them. I've lost them.
It was like no, yeah, we clearly did not get it, sir.
It's the moment.
Yeah, and then when you're like, you have that moment of like, whoa, okay, that kind of knocks you out of it.
Well, that's it. Then you got to come back and hit him again. And that's got to be a space of like, oh my God, I forgot everything. I just got really excited. They liked me for a minute.
That's why they call it timing.
Oh yeah, it's also like, you know, like the Bill Burr bit where you're like, you know, you watch other comics and like he's just like, okay, they don't like bread, don't talk about bread. Or like, it's like, you know, you watch other people's comics and you see how the audience reacts to it. Like if they like don't react to certain things, don't talk about that.
You're talking in a comedy set where you're constantly reevaluating the material that is actually coming out of your mouth in real time. Is this what we're referring to?
Yes.
Oh yeah, like it's like, because I've seen it like where like I've seen other comics like watching the crowd, and then if they don't like if they're like loving like political jokes, okay, do that. Do like, you know, they see what kind of like if it's like,
well, because you see everybody's stuff.
Oh yeah, I do.
And you're really mindful of their space, and they're kind of, you've seen it all, and you know what when they're at their best and at their worst, and they're not on tonight. They're just not having a good night tonight.
I know, like especially like I know when like if you've had a bad set, like if he doesn't know, like if he doesn't
never
think
has
he
a bad
does,
set.
he doesn't. But like if he thinks he, like I can tell like how they act after they get off stage, if they think that they did well or they think they didn't do
Is this
well.
when you become their emotional support animal as well, Erin?
Somewhat, yeah. I have to like sometimes
That's
I have
one
to
thing,
be like,
Erin,
you're
yeah.
doing great. You're doing great. Don't worry about it. The crowd just sucked.
If
That's
there's nobody
nice,
laughing,
though.
Erin is always laughing.
You need a cheerleader like that for you when you're coming off of stage, regardless of how it went for you. It's always nice to have a camp that's like, good job.
That's what it is, you know. It's kind of like a rep at the gym, and so it'd be like if you went and you didn't have a good push up, and everyone was like,
You showed up
"Boo!
today."
Yeah, you did it.
You're never gonna be fit. This guy's not fit. You see that push up? This guy's got no muscle.
You clearly
He's
see me
fit.
at the gym then. We'll get there. Work in progress over here.
Yeah.
Definitely check out one of their shows. If you're looking for things to do on the Cape, eventsoncape.com is our website here. I always throw in a paperback show every once in a while to make sure that we're rounding out the assistants and helping each other find people.
It's a party.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure. We've got a full week of shows. I've got to go because I've got agriculture camp, everybody. I'm actually doing the thing.
Planting things Greta Thunberg would be proud.
How dare you?
Oh.
She'd be proud.
I think so. We're making some moves over here at Lemonade.io. So please support us. We just started our nonprofit Lemonade. So I will be letting you know how you can donate and support to all of the things that we do, because we're out here in the trenches and we need some dollars so we can support it. You guys, thank you so much for coming by and your patience this morning.
Stephanie in the morning with Lemonade.io. Had a blast.
Yeah, it was fun.
One of our takeaways this morning, Stephanie in the morning, we always do a question or whatever it is that's going on my Facebook page. Just share a photo over the weekend. Please make me laugh. I've got a lot of stuff I've got to organize today. And honestly, when you share with us, it makes my heart happy. And you want a happy mama over here. I need something.
Share with her. I'm
Yes.
gonna share.
Yes.
I'm gonna overshare.
Overshare.
Please do. That also makes me happy. We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Have a great week, everybody.